Obviously, I love sports. That's what we do. JK Productions, that's what we've been doing for a very long time now, mostly sports related content. And I have started to dabble away a little bit. Tarantino, Kendrick Lamar, fast food. This is going to be a little bit extra, but still stay with the sports. We're going to be my top 5 sports leagues across the world. We're going to be going back from 5 to 1, starting off at number 5, and something that I've really gotten more into, that being the NHL, being hockey. Now, the Panthers having the season they did last year, the top team in the league in the regular season, and then finally winning a playoff series for the first time in my entire lifetime was special. It was a fun season, and then we just got smacked by the Lightning, but that's been happening a lot to a lot of teams over the last 3 years, so can't be too upset with how things went. But that really started to draw in my love for hockey, and that's only growing, and I was really close to putting it at number 4. I haven't gone to a single Panthers game yet so far this season. I plan on going to the game on Friday, but hockey as a whole, the playoffs, I think hockey has the best playoffs. I don't think that is something that is up for debate, except maybe like the World Cup or the Champions League, the elimination stages. Those games are electric, but hockey series showing up, the atmosphere. I went to Game 7 of the Lightning and Islanders. I was rooting for the Islanders. My boy Andrew, if you're watching this, what's up, brother? He's a big Islanders fan. So hey, I'm now a big Islanders fan. We're both going here. We're both going to root for the Islanders. I was about to fight somebody on the way out. I would have done it. I would have done it. I don't know what possessed me. I was about to fight somebody on the way out for a team that I barely even supported. That it was the best atmosphere I've ever been a part of. Game 7, Islanders, Lightning. Winner goes on to the Stanley Cup final, Eastern Conference final. I get goosebumps every time I start telling the story just because it was incredible. I would give anything to relive that experience. Hockey is incredible. Hockey, the NHL, number 5. Number 4, the NBA. And this is something that, I'll be honest, has started to trickle down my rankings over the years. At one point, it was probably number 1. Basketball was my first love. It's the sport I played my entire sporting career, really, ever since middle school. And I have a lot of love for the sport. And there's going to be some more basketball on this list very soon. But the NBA regular season, it's hard to watch for me. It's just way too easy. I know I start sounding like a boomer, like, oh, all they do is shoot threes. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I mean, they do shoot too many threes, but it's just the regular season is kind of starting to feel like baseball, where you're just waiting for the baseball playoffs to come around, and then you start loving it. Like when baseball playoffs come around, I'm the biggest baseball fan. I watch every single playoff game that I can, even if my Yankees, or I guess Marlins, because they're never in it, but if the Yankees aren't in it, I'll still watch the Guardians and the White Sox play. I'll still watch the Astros play, even though I hate them. I'll still watch the Angels play, even though they're never in the playoffs. What's up, Donovan? But basketball, I love the Heat. I like the Warriors. I'm a big Steph Curry fan. I love Jimmy Butler. I enjoy watching NBA basketball when it's on, when it's in front of me, but it's not something that I seek out to watch. So the NBA at number 4, in the NBA playoffs, again, are fantastic, just a notch below, or maybe a couple notches below NHL, because nothing touches NHL in terms of playoffs. NBA number 4, just below college basketball, and that's something that I've really gotten to love. Now, obviously, March Madness, that might actually be with NHL and the World Cup in terms of the best playoffs. Now that I say that out loud, I'm not even sure anymore, because March Madness, oh man, it's electric. I mean, you feel for those kids, that the passion there, and you see the FAU badge here on my shirt. I hope that's on camera. Can't really tell. I do work for FAU. I work for the women's basketball team, and they're 12-13 right now. So unless they win their conference, they aren't going to be seeing any postseason games. But the FAU men's team, top 25 for 3 weeks this season. Now they did fall out of that, and they're going to be playing at the time of recording later today. But watching their emergence in the top 25 has really drawn me into the rest of the sport this season. And it made me realize, wait, I never really stopped loving it. I just stopped having time to watch it, because now I'm watching like every single week feels like the number 1 team loses, whether it's Purdue, whether it's Alabama, whether it's choke artist Tennessee continue to fall down the rankings. I love it. The regular season is fun to watch. The regular season is almost just as fun to watch as the postseason, as the March Madness tournament, because every game feels like it matters, and every game is so hard. It's the opposite of the NBA. Every game is so hard. It's so hard for even the 10th best team to go on the road and play like the third bottom in the conference. Like we've seen Tennessee now lose to multiple unranked teams in their own conference. It's hard. It isn't easy. At my FAU, 24-2 had the largest winning streak in the entire nation, goes on the road to Middle Tennessee, who were just 16-11 and lose. It's hard to win in college basketball. And then you get to the March Madness, and it becomes even harder. It becomes even more entertaining. So I got college basketball at number 3. Number 2, kind of partially what I'm watching right now, the Barclays Premier League. I'm watching Manchester United game right here on my phone while I'm recording this. Not gonna lie to you guys. Manchester United, I've really grown a love for over the years, and it's kind of ironic how I became to love them. I kind of became to love them out of quote unquote sympathy. The year Manchester City, Aguero, that goal. Don't know why I sung that. When that goal happened, I saw it. No, I wasn't watching it live. I saw the highlight. I'm like, oh, I kind of feel bad for Manchester United, not knowing they're like the biggest brand in the world. So I became a Manchester United fan eventually a couple of years later when the 2014 World Cup occurred. I really became a strong Manchester United fan and fell in love with the sport of soccer. And Premier League is just the easiest to access. NBC, USA, Peacock. It's just the easiest to watch. So that's the best I've been able to watch. And I know anybody who's gotten this far will immediately comment, the championship's better. I'm sure it is. I've heard a lot of great things. I watch a lot of English YouTubers talking about the championship and how entertaining it is. I believe you. I believe you that the championship is one of those entertaining leagues of any sport across the world. I believe you. I just personally haven't been able to watch it as much as I would like to personally because I'm a Manchester United fan. Sorry, I'm not going to be watching Birmingham City take on Millwall. I'm sorry. I got a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, I barely watch college basketball, so watching the championship, don't have a lot of time for it. But again, very similar. It's very hard to win. You see Manchester City bring in Erling Haaland, and everyone's thought process, oh, this is going to be immediately the best team in the league, or best team in the entire world. A team that was comprised of like 6 midfielders instead of 3 midfielders and 3 midfielders, 3 attackers. Kind of just what felt like 6 midfielders going on. Oh, now you have Kevin De Bruyne, who's been the best midfielder in the world for years. You have Riyad Mahrez bending in on his left. You bring in Grealish for $100 million. You have Rodri, one of the best defensive mids in the world. And you're like, oh, this is immediately going to be the best team, not just in the country, in the entire world, with Erling Haaland, the best young striker in the world. And they're second in the league, only 3 points above Manchester United. And, they drew in the Champions League just a couple days ago. Or just a day ago recording this. The Premier League is so hard to win. And I love the passion. Soccer, soccer, football, call it what you want. Personally, I don't care that much. Whatever you call it. It's not going to work in America like it does in England and the rest of the world because you'll never have that same passion. These teams start from bottom. You can go over in England and just be a couple of dudes and start a soccer team at the bottom of the pyramid and literally work your way up all the way up to the Premier League if you so choose to do so. Looking at teams like #United, Stretford Paddock of the Manchester United fan account, Full-Time Devils. Teams like that start at the bottom, and who knows how far they make it up. They're probably never going to make it to the Premier League, but the fact is you can. That's never going to be the case over here in America. It's all just billionaires starting teams. Beckham down here, Cincinnati in recent times, team in Tennessee. It's never going to happen over here to that extent, but I hope it does. And I hope that America can replicate what we've seen with British football, with the Premier League. But number one, it's got to be American football. I mean, there was just only no other answer. Like 5% of my content is football related. Now the season's over, we've seen a little bit more. I've become a little diverse. I got other stuff to talk about. I got soccer here on my phone. I got basketball going on. I got college basketball. I got a lot of stuff going on, but we know at the end of the day, football is king. It's just simple as Miami Dolphins are my favorite team in the entire world. Every second of football on Sunday, I try to consume every second of every game possible. Haley, God bless you, watching games with me in my bed at your house. She's a trooper. We watch pretty much every single game that we possibly can. She's not the biggest fan of doing that, but she's just great like that. So I appreciate it. But yeah, I watch every single game that I possibly can. I feel gross missing even a second of the Dolphins games. It just is what it is. NFL's king. So that's going to be NFL, Premier League, NCAA, college basketball, the NBA, and then the NHL. What's your top 5 favorite sports if you're watching over here on YouTube? Thank you if you're listening over here on the radio. But let me know down in the comments below, what's your favorite sports? Thank you all very much for watching.